What's up, veterans, transitioning service members, military members? Thank you for your service to our country. Thank you for tuning in to this live stream of the Off the Battlefield podcast presented by Veterans Claim Servants. I am a veteran serving veterans. Today, we're going to be talking about the importance of your VA rating decision letter, what it is, why you need it, and how you can get a copy of it as well. It is super important if a decision has been made on your claim that you read it thoroughly, why they've come to that conclusion, whether you've been approved, denied, the decision, and how they came to that rating. And that way you can understand the why. Okay. It's very, very important. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, hit this notification bell, share this out with someone that can use this information to put them in a better position for the benefits that they deserve. Okay. So again, if you're battling the disability claims process, if your VA rating decision letter, if your rating has come back, right, this letter is pretty much the most important document. Okay. So I don't want to insult anyone's intelligence, but the VA decision letter is so important because it contains very mission critical information about your VA claim. It explains the why and how the VA came to the narrative that they did for whatever condition you filed for, including whether it's been approved, denied, deferred, the rating percentage assigned to whatever condition you applied for, and the effective date of your benefits, among other things. So if you disagree with some or all the VA's decision, you're going to know what to do and how to attack it, and know the evidence that was compiled to come to that decision, whether they used all the evidence that you submitted or not. And then you're going to understand the details of your rating decision letter, which is ultimately going to help you determine your VA strategy of appeals. Do you want to supplemental it, or do you want to do a higher level review? My last option always I recommend will be going to or before the Board of Veterans Appeals if you don't need to. So in this live stream, I'm going to discuss what the decision letter is and explain it to you, why you need to make sure you read it. I think a lot of veterans do not read their decisions as to why. I'm going to talk about some of the most important sections of your VA rating decision letter as well, and how you can get a copy of your decision letter quicker than by snail mail. Okay. So let's start again. I don't want to insult anyone's intelligence, but sometimes people get the summary letter, the rating disability breakdown letter with diagnostic codes, and the decision letter mixed up. So what is the VA rating decision letter? It's a document prepared by the VA rater, the RVSR, that formally explains the VA's rationale for approving, denying, or deferring your VA disability claim. Your VA disability rating decision letter includes VA's final rating decision and analysis, as well as why and how the VA rater and the compensation and pension examiner arrived at their opinions and conclusions for your VA claim. It also contains the findings of fact, favorable findings identified, and decisions based on VA regulations and federal law. So for me, it is the very most important document, in my opinion, that you will get from the VA. So there's many different types of VA decision letters depending on the type of claim you filed and the reason for your decision. So for review decisions, for the decision reviews and appeals, rather, the legacy system was the standard appeals process until it was replaced by the Appeals Modernization Act, also known as the AMA. So in February 2019, I believe it was introduced, right? The higher level review, supplemental claim, and board appeals. So there are now three different board appeal options. So here are some of the different types of VA rating decision letters. You have an AMA VA rating decision letter, which means it communicates the VA's decision on a claim under the AMA system, detailing conditions granted or denied, ratings assigned, effective dates, and the evidence considered. AMA notice of action decision letter, which accompanies the AMA rating decision, summarizing compensation details, effective dates, and outlining appeal options for the veteran. You also get a AMA board decision letter. issued when a veterans law judge at the Board of Veterans Appeals rules on a case under the AMA system. It includes the decision, evidence reviewed, and available appeal options. And remember, the AMA I'm referring to is the Appeals Modernization Act, which was enacted in February 2019. The legacy rating decision letter, like the AMA rating decision, but is used in the older legacy system, it explains, it's detailed on claim conditions, assigned ratings, effective dates, and evidence reviewed. There's also a legacy notice of action decision letter as well, which accompanies a legacy rating decision, providing your payment details, appeal instructions, and also effective dates. Legacy board decision letter is issued when the Board of Veterans Appeals makes the decision on an appeal under the legacy system. It includes the rationale, decision, and the appeal rights that you, the veteran, have. The statement of the case is sent after a veteran files notice of disagreement, also known as an NOD, explaining why a claim was denied or partially denied. It includes evidence reviewed, laws applied, and steps to file an appeal. So there's a supplemental statement of the case, an update to the SOC. The supplemental state of the case is issued when evidence is submitted. It explains why the claim remains denied and offers steps for further appeal. So, what else can you do to appeal what they are saying if they are wrong about what they are saying as well? The VA, that is. Temporary total disability decision letter. That is a letter that is sent when a veteran is granted a temporary, not a permanent, a temporary 100% disability rating for conditions like surgery, cancer, or hospitalization recovery. It explains the duration and reevaluation process. So, permanent and total disability decision letter is issued when the VA determines that your disability is permanent and total, meaning it will more likely than not improve, and the veteran is not eligible, and the veteran is eligible for additional benefits. So it means that it will not improve, and the veteran is eligible for additional benefits. That's what permanent and total means. Now, it does not mean that they could not come back and check for anything, but it means more likely than not that they will not, unless something is fraudulent, unless there's just a crazy overturning your symptoms and you are just miraculously better and they can prove that without a shadow of a doubt, that would be overturned. But remember, if you're permanent in total listening to this, continue to get the care, continue to get the treatment. Don't stop seeking and getting the treatment for whatever conditions you are rated for. Remember, there's a TDIU decision letter as well, temporary disability, individual unemployability, which means that you're rated at, let's call it 80%, but you're getting paid at 100. You cannot make over the poverty level, and I advise you not to work if you don't need to. Neither, it just doesn't look good on you and it's kind of a ding against you, okay? But the TDIU decision letter communicates whether the veteran qualifies for total disability, individual unemployability, TDIU, compensation at the 100% rate due to their inability to work. That's why I say it's kind of a ding against you if you are working. You are able to work. It's a stupid gray area, and a lot of people have seen the video and the guy in Kentucky that was running a nonprofit and doing all these things and directing all these people and is now facing prison time because he was IU and said that he could not work. And although he didn't make a dollar, they still were like, we don't really believe you. And they came back and dinged him, which I don't necessarily agree with. I mean, what do you want us to do? Go in a closet and stay locked up in a box? But again, I don't know all the details and what he told doctors and whatnot because that's protected by Privacy Act and stuff. But there is a video out there. Check out the CivDiv channel, and he did. Those guys did interview him. But just be careful. Be careful. Don't lie about anything that you're telling them. If you're saying you can't do certain things, but you're doing them. I can't go swimming. I can't go hiking, but yet all over your social media is pictures of you hiking or doing something that you clearly told the VA that you couldn't do. Then, hey, if they find out, then just be prepared to pay back, get reduced, or face the consequences. Reduction proposal or final reduction decision letter is something else. It's sent when the VA proposes or finalizes a reduction in the veteran's disability rating due to evidence of improvement. It includes reasoning and appeal options as well. There's also severance of service connection decision letter, issued when the VA decides to terminate service connection for a condition, explaining the rationale and appeal rights. And then a Q decision letter, which is a clear and unmistakable error. It's sent when a veteran files a claim based on a clear and unmistakable error in a previous VA decision, meaning the VA just clearly downright missed some evidence, didn't give you the time and day, didn't use all the evidence submitted. That's a clear and unmistakable error, or just flat out wrong in their decision. It explains whether the error was found and the resulting of the decision. So here's why you need to read your VA decision letter carefully, okay? It is critical to carefully review it, because paying close attention to the section headers labeled evidence and reasons for decision are going to let you know what evidence they used and how and why they came to that conclusion. So let me explain this. Some veterans use an outside medical opinion, and the VA says that it was received as evidence, but there's nothing mentioned about it in the reasons for decision, right? But some veterans don't know that, and you need to higher level review that and call that out, because why is it not explained? Did you use the evidence that I submitted from my private doctor, or did you not? I have that right to submit evidence from a private doctor, right? Or sometimes altogether, some of the evidence you submitted may not be in the evidence or the reason for decision. You may just get so frustrated and focused on the fact that you were denied, but you don't go to look at this decision letter. It's so important, because if you disagree with any part of the VA's decision, understanding the specific evidence they reviewed or failed to review or include, including the C&P examiner's medical opinion from your C&P exam, or any errors in the VA rater's logic, it's super important. And you need to take notes, write that down. And if you're going to do an informal conference or a higher level review, this is what you're going to talk about. Sir or ma'am, when you talk to that senior level adjudicator, y'all miss this. I see y'all counted a nexus letter as part of my evidence, but there's nothing being talked about in the review. It's in evidence, but it's not in the review of the decision in y'all's logic. Y'all only talk about the compensation and pension examiner, which lasted all but 3 minutes, and they were incriminating me the whole time, just talking about childhood and substance abuse, and we're talking about my back or PTSD and me being in Iraq, or whatever your case is. You got to, if you disagree with anything, write it down, take a deep breath. If you need help, reach out to us. We'll point you in the right direction. If you do need something rebutted, or you do need additional evidence, we could look at it and tell you, point you to a right, unbiased doctor. We've helped veterans off this channel, point them in the right direction so that they can get the evidence that they need to get whatever it is that they're trying to file for connected. The information you get from your VA rating decision letter regarding a denial or an underrating forms the foundation. It's a firm foundation of your VA appeal strategy. So let me give you an example of VA claim denial in your decision letter. Let's say the rater denies your claim for your back because they say there is no evidence of a current disability or medical diagnosis of back in your medical records. Now, let's assume you had a medical diagnosis of your back from a private MD, which included a detailed psychological or physical evaluation and an independent medical opinion. However, the rater failed to consider that, even though you uploaded it to support your claim. So it was in your evidence, but not in the reasoning why. And you notice it was not listed under the evidence section of your decision letter. You need to call that out. You need to do a higher level review. You need to let them know, I already submitted that evidence. You guys did not consider it. And if you did, then you missed it and you aren't explaining it in the reasoning why section. You are not explaining that. Knowing this mistake by the first VA rater, you can simply file a higher level review and request a new decision from a more senior VA claims adjudicator. So in this, what I just explained to you, your back should be decided in your favor during the higher level review appeals process, which is about 90 to 120 days. But remember, you're seeding the clouds and you'll get back paid from the time that you submitted that claim or whenever that was. If you're higher level reviewing a claim and it was 2 years ago and you've continually appealed it within that appropriate time frame, you're going to get back paid from either your intent to file or date of claim received by the VA. Okay. So the 5 most important sections in your VA decision letter is the introduction, the decision, the evidence, okay, reasons for decision, right? And number 5 are the references. Okay. So I'm just going to hit on those a little bit. I don't want to bore you to death here, but the introduction, it includes branch of service, dates of active duty, date of claim receipt, when your claim was received. And it matters because errors in this section, such as incorrect service dates or claim receipt dates, can affect your eligibility and the effective dates of your benefits as well. So if the VA lists an incorrect claim receipt date, you may miss out on months of retroactive pay. The decision, right? It includes listed disabilities filed, whatever you filed, tinnitus, migraine, PTSD, service connection decision, right? And then the example, tinnitus is granted for 10%, migraines at 50, PTSD at 50, whatever was granted is there, or if it was denied. And that decision, it's so important to understand the decision section because it shows the outcomes for each condition and provides the foundation for if you need to do an appeal if you believe the rating or service connection decisions are incorrect of the evaluation of the rating, the percentage, and or the all-out denial of whatever their decision was and the outcome for not service connecting you. So number 3, evidence, right? What did they use, right? It might include your service treatment records, VA medical records, um, private medical records, disability benefits questionnaires from a private doctor, nexus letters, lay evidence, buddy statements, personal statements, etc. Your compensation and pension exam report by LHI, Optum, Veterans Evaluation Services, or other supporting evidence like additional relevant documents such as military personnel records or work impact statements, etc. But some very common issues are the VA rater failing to consider key evidence. It's a common issue. That's why you got to look at this decision letter. And an example is your nexus letter is missing from the evidence list, even though it was submitted with your claim. You have a buddy statement, let's call it from your wife or a fellow service member that served with you, and they can firsthand account of your in-service injury, and it's not even mentioned. Okay, the VA rater relying only on what we call as top sheeting, right, which occurs when he or she only reviews the most recent evidence without considering older relevant documents. That's not right. Or evidence. That's not right. This is a way to save time and make faster rating decisions, which we're not in it. I get we want things done fast, but we want things done accurate, VA. We want things done the right way. You, as the veteran, need to make sure that you are not missing anything because you raise your right hand, you served, you deserve. Okay. Ensure all the evidence that you submitted is listed in this section. If critical evidence is missing, such as private doctor's nexus letter, linking your disability service, you may need to appeal using a higher level review or rebuttal with a supplemental claim to include the overlooked evidence. Number 4, the reasons for decision, right? The analysis of service connection. Is it more likely than not? At least as likely as not. You need to find out, right? The VA grants service connection for tinnitus because your service treatment records document a history of noise exposure as a, let's call it as a mechanic, okay? Or the VA denies service connection for back condition, claiming insufficient evidence of in-service injury, even though a private nexus letter states the condition is likely caused by repetitive lifting during your deployment. Rationale for assigning a certain VA rating percentages, right? The VA outlines why a specific percentage was assigned for each service-connected condition, and this explanation includes the severity of your symptoms and how they align with the criteria in the 38 Code of Federal Regulations, Part 4, the VA schedule for rating disabilities. So every rating that you're filed for, or that you have filed for, or anyone has filed for, can be seen. It is public access to look at it. So I advise you to get educated on the 38 Code of Federal Regulations, the VA rating for disabilities. What condition am I filing for? You know, my neighbor told me they have 30% for sinuses. What am I going to get? Do I have polyps? Do I have a deviated septum? How severe is my sinusitis? You know, how severe is my PTSD? It is all in there, and it tells you the criteria to get to that certain rating and how the VA assigns a certain rating. Okay. Remember, the worse that a condition is, the higher that rating is going to be. Some conditions like tinnitus or whatnot, our tinnitus is at 10%. It's capped. Okay. And also remember, a nice friendly reminder, pro tip here, file for your tinnitus claim. If you don't have it yet and you're around loud noises and have that ringing in your ears, file for it ASAP, because they're going to be doing away with it sometime this year as a standalone rating. But some ratings only go so high, like migraines only to 50, PTSD can go all the way to 100. Again, everything depends on the severity. Obviously, the higher the rating for each individual condition, the worse whatever you're filing for is. Your back, knees, neck, musculoskeletal, migraines, mental health, whatever you have going on, eye problems, sinusitis, rhinitis, you name it, plantar fasciitis. The worse that it is, the higher the rating for each condition. And remember, the VA's got fuzzy math. It's not normal math. 10 and 10 to them is 19. To me and you, it's 20. But I didn't come up with this system, so they did. But just make sure that you understand that. And that's why you don't want to minimize, but you don't want to over exaggerate or lie on that. Okay. So consideration of evidence is very important. It should address the probative value of your medical records, whatever evidence you submitted, buddy statements, nexus letters, and CMP exam results. Common errors in decisions are discounting private medical evidence. That is your right. Right? If you do need a nexus letter or anything like that, look in the description of this video. Dr. Prashant, Dr. Lopez, Dr. Patel, quality nexus letters, they are not going to do anything if they can't do it. If they can't help you, they're not going to do it. They're not just there to whip up something for you and take your money. If they can do it, they're going to make sure they're going to look through the evidence, ask for the appropriate evidence. If they can help you, they're going to help you. If not, they're going to tell you no or tell you what you need. And nobody, if anybody guarantees you anything, they're full of it. Nobody can guarantee anybody anything, because them, myself, or anyone is not a rater. The rater is going to be making the decision, and the VA is. And if they mess up, you have that right to appeal it, okay, and to call them out. But do so respectfully and make sure that you look at your rating decision letter, okay? It's very, very important. But so common errors, discounting private medical evidence, inadequate CMP exam, they saw you for 2 minutes, were trying to incriminate you, and you were out of there. Flawed reasoning, failure to address aggravation, etc. Right? This section is so important because it helps you identify any errors in logic, evidence evaluation, or rating assignment. For example, if the VA ignored a favorable nexus letter, you can appeal and request a higher level review. You're going to talk to a senior level rater and say, sir, ma'am, y'all didn't look at my private nexus letter, and remember, the VA pays compensation and pension examiners to do those evaluations. You have the right to pay your doctor or a qualified doctor that can help you write a nexus letter or DBQ. That is one of the things that you do have in your tool bag that helps you. Okay. So it's very, very important to understand and identify any errors in logic, evidence evaluation, or rating assignment. Very important, so that you know the route that you need to take. Okay. Number 5, the references section, 38 Code of Federal Regulations. Learn it. Part 4, the schedule for rating disabilities. It governs the rating criteria for all conditions. It's very, very important. Okay. I am putting it right here. Okay. I am putting it right here in the comment section of this video. Okay. It is right here on YouTube. If y'all don't have the 38 CFR, you're welcome. There you go, right there. It's 38 CFR, Chapter 1, Part 4. Save it, download it, get it, have it, look at it, research it. If you're filing a claim, look at whatever claim you're filing for and look at how they rate, right? And you can take a sheet of paper and you can calculate up, and you could go online and use a free VA disability calculator to help you. So let me give you a free VA disability calculator that you can use. Okay, it's absolutely free of charge. Right here, I'm going to give this to you. It's a VA disability calculator that is free of use and is very accurate. Veterans, if you need it, use it. I just sent it to you right now in the comments section. of this video as well. There's the 38 CFR and the calculator, so you can try to understand along with me the VA's fuzzy math, because it is fuzzy. I will tell you that as well. So check that out. Okay. So if you want to download a copy or get your rating decision letter, you can log into va.gov, go to va.gov, log in, use options like ID Me or login.gov. Once logged in, proceed to the next step, click Manage All Claims and Appeals, your claims decision reviews or appeals, claim status and letters, download your VA rating decision letter. You can also contact the 1-800-827-1000 and have them fax over your rating decision letter, your rating disability breakdown letter with diagnostic codes or benefit summary letter, and or you can have them email it to you, and they will email it to you encrypted. Okay. So you can also do that, or you can wait for it to come in mail, which is, don't do that. Okay. That's the long option, the longest wait option. Okay. Get it faxed to you guys, get it emailed. As soon as you find out about your decision, call them up, 1-800-827-1000, and find out what you can do to get that letter. Okay. So again, your rating decision letter is the most important document. Okay. It tells you why you've been approved or denied, evidence used, reasons for decision, and everything that was included in the determination and the outcome of your decision. I hope you're not having to fight more than you need to. And if you are, if you do need help and you just can't navigate it, I'm going to tell you this: it's better to get help than not get help. But don't get screwed over. Don't be paying times 5, times 4, times 6 to people. Don't be doing that. Get the help that you need. There's enough education out here. Reach out to the doctors that can help you. If you do need help, the doctors have nothing to do with me, right? They're just a safe place to go, so you don't have to get raked upside the head and pay $3,000 for some Nexus letter or something like that. Okay. Reach out to Dr. Prashant, reach out to Dr. Lopez, Dr. Patel, or any of the doctors that are listed in the description of this video. They can help you out, right? And what you guys talk about is between you and them, has nothing to do with me. It's just a safe place to go, and they know what the heck that they're doing. I can personally vouch that they have helped people get the right evidence to get their ratings, and I've seen proof of it time and time and time and time again. Okay. But again, it's very, very important, right? Very, very important. It's your claim. Make sure that you are in control of what you're doing, and that you know what you're doing as well. Rather be educated on the process rather than winging up a hope and a prayer. So I hope that this video helps you. Thank you for tuning in. Man, we care about you. Thank you for your service to our country. Rating decision letter, what it is, why it is so important. I hope that this video helps you. If you have any questions, reach out to us. And we just want you to know that we really, really care about you. And Angel, what's up, brother? Greetings. You submitted a claim for 8 conditions and received 3 decision letters. Okay. However, not one included a code sheet or CMP exam notes. Do you know if this is proper? I have a FOIA pending. Yep. So you have the FOIA pending in your code sheet, your rating disability breakdown letter, brother. You need to call the 1-800-827-1000 and have them email and fax it over to you if they granted you a decision for that. Okay. That's what you need to do, my brother. I will get on the horn with you as well if you have any questions, or you can call me, brother. But you've received 3 out of 8. Maybe they just went ahead and made the decision on 3 of the claims out of the 8. However, those other ones should be coming, and it should explain whether they're deferred, waiting on medical opinion, or further evidence. Okay. So if you have any further questions, reach out, Angel. Hit me up. You've got my number, brother, and honored to serve and help you, man. Thank you for your service to our country. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, listening. We care about you. Download that 38 Code of Federal Regulations, download that calculator, or, know where to go for that calculator, get the right help that you can, that you need, that you deserve. And thank you for your service to our country. Thank you for tuning in and hanging out with me tonight on this live stream podcast of Off the Battlefield presented by Veterans Claim Servants. We appreciate you, and we'll be doing this a lot throughout the year. Thank you.